morning. We are group 28 and continuing from where we left off in our 80% implementation. We have made a few changes that I will walk you through it. And as you see, we have given the username for our system, so I'm changing it to user1, and the EDF file, as you can see, it is for user1. And since the number before R basically depicts the user, so select the particular EDF file for that, and classifier is set to SVM, and we press the login button to see what result we get. And so the additional stuff that we have made is to enable the application to figure out which server is faster. So as you can see, the authentication is successful, and the fog server seems to be faster for this case rather than the cloud. If it is faster for most cases, as depicted in our report, which you can go through, and the execution time, as well as the separate section that says authentication is successful. So we represented all the details with respect to our results. Thank you.
We have set up the cloud server in AWS for our BrainNet project. I'll give you a quick walkthrough on the code that we've used to set up the cloud server. So we have used the Spring framework in order to handle HTTP requests. So this is the Spring framework. So if you do authorize user and give the EDF file, we will be able to test the EDF file and authorize the user. We have stored our EDF files in Amazon's S3 bucket. So we will be fetching the EDF file from the S3 bucket, which has been transferred into the S3 bucket using the Android code. So this is the code for handling the S3 bucket and downloading the object. So model driver is basically the one that drives the model. So we will be executing the model.sh with its EDF file, and that will provide the result, which we will be sending as a response to the HTTP request. So this is basically the code that we have used. So we have set up EC2 instance. This is our EC2 instance, which is running, and it is running in this IP address 54, 183, 130, and 229. So we have used SSH to log in into this. We have used SSH to log in into this instance, and so I've copied all the files now. We can see that there is no EDF file right now, but once we execute it, we'll be able to see the EDF file that has been downloaded from the S3 bucket, which I'll be showing you in a short while. So my code is running, so it should handle the HTTP requests now. So this is the cloud server, so I'm running it in my EC2 instance. You can see it here. So let's see if our EC2 instance is working. So it's just an info. So the info will print in a message called the service sub, which is basically here. And then we will now run with the EDF file. So this EDF file is present in the bucket. So this is the name of the EDF file. So we can copy this and we can put this. This EDF file will basically be uploaded by the Android code. So this will run. So while this runs, we can see that this is the code that we have used to run. So this now runs a name-based model. We'll be using more than one model in our program, which will be used to test it. And then you can see that this is the EDF file is being saved in home, EC2 user, and the file name. So once this authenticates, you'd be displayed which user that's been authenticated, depending upon what is the value. Right now we can just and now we can see that the EDF file is being saved. So we have downloaded the EDF file and we have run the method execute model.sh. So this execute model.sh will basically has the code which will run along with the name of the EDF file. Here in our local system, which is basically what will be happening in the Fog server. So we will be running this code, and then you can see that it is actually running the model and creating the model using naive Bayes.